What is up, everybody? This is Mr. Tony Stark with another quick Black Ops 2 video. This is some interview footage from Gamescom this week. These guys are talking about the different features of Black Ops 2 and the cool stuff that they're excited about. And actually I picked apart some of the stuff that I wanted you guys to see because I know a lot of you guys asked for a little bit more and I hadn't seen this footage yet. So I'm not really, like I said, going to break it down. I'm just going to let you watch it. One thing that I'm really excited about is how they're doing the perks and attachments in this game. If you guys are unfamiliar with that, you're going to want to pay attention to the beginning part of the interview. They've really separated how each thing affects your player. The perks only affecting how your player acts as far as your playing style, and the attachments really only affecting the gun. So your perks no longer affect the gun, which like sleight of hand and quick draw, none of that stuff is going to actually affect the gun so much as it's going to affect your player, and then the attachments are going to affect how the gun performs. So that's something I'm really excited about, but I'm just going to let this thing play. You guys can check it out and listen in.
Now there's also some nuances and changes that you actually made to each of the classes in terms of attachments and perks. Tell us a little bit about that.
So in Black Ops 2, for you to modify your weapon in any way, shape, or form, you have to actually take an attachment for it. So in our previous game, you could actually sometimes use perks to modify your weapon. And what this does for us is make sure that we have perks be about player and player behavior, and attachments be about weapon and weapon behavior. And that's a really important part of how we're tuning the game.
Now that's actually really different from previous games. Why that decision?
So it's really important to us to make that decision because players expect that an attachment would modify the behavior of a gun and not them, so therefore we could tune how much they modify a gun when they belong to the gun instead of with a player.
So it just makes more sense.
Yeah, so if you have something that modifies, say, the hip-fire accuracy of a weapon, it's much better for us if we can attach that to the gun instead of the player, so it doesn't have to modify the hip-fire accuracy across every category of weapon. We can do it specifically for the gun. That lets us tune the guns even better.
As soon as possible, so I'm joined by Hastro and Vaughn in the meantime, and we've been looking through your tweets to the hashtag Black Ops 2 MP. Keep them coming in. I think we need to treat Treyarch as well, right? And we want to answer your questions, want to hear what you think about the game, the new features. We've got a few up here. So at iBonkers says, I'm going to use that CodCasting so much. Now, and I've been thinking about this, Hastro, right? You've had it pretty easy lately, right? But you're going to get lots of competition with this new CodCasting feature.
Hey, you know what? The more the merrier, honestly. I really would love for the community to embrace that feature, CodCasting. And you know what? It's actually also great when you can take it into theater mode, right? So you'll be able to potentially, it's in development, but potentially be able to record your gameplays and cast them out after in theater mode. So you'll take your saved gameplays and you can kind of work with the CodCasting features, remove the elements of the HUD, customize the way your screen looks whenever you have that gameplay saved.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and not a lot of people know about that right yet. So when you go into the theater, you can actually pull up CodCasting from a game that's already been played. So imagine that everybody can practice being a CodCaster, and you're going to see a lot of guys who create video on demand of some of these top games that get played. I think it's going to be amazing what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I think that league play feature is really sticking out for me because I'm definitely not a pro player, but it gives me the opportunity to play and always be competitive against players my level, right? How important is that, Hastro?
It's extremely important. Essentially, that's the sport of Call of Duty. We're able to create leagues for players to play in, and they're able to kind of track their progress as a team with their teammates. And what's more fun than that? And that's essentially what Call of Duty is, and traditionally. But now we kind of formalize it with ranking yourself up and trying to be the best you can within the division that you play in, and you're also playing against competition that's around your skill level, so your objective is to kind of get better faster than they can. So it's a lot more fun that way, and I think League Play is just going to be a great feature for everybody out there to play in.
Just for the experts and the pros. We have things in there like our leagues feature. We dedicated our time to that, and that's for everyone. Leagues are for everyone, and competition is for everyone.
Why don't you explain to us a little bit about the leagues features? A lot of people, it sounds big and scary, and if I'm a casual player, I may run the other way, but it's exactly the opposite.
It is exactly the opposite. You know what? Leagues are for everyone. If you're a pro player or a great player, you're going to love leagues because it's all about skill-based matchmaking. You're going to be able to match up with the best of the best. But if you're an average player or a beginner player, that's great too, because it is about skill-based matchmaking. We're going to put you in a league of people of similar skill, and you're going to be able to compete because, like, Call of Duty is fun when you're winning, of course. It's really fun when you almost win, and we want to make sure that that situation is something that we can get to for all players at all levels.